Hello, my name is Holland Timmins, also known as the Connoisseur. Today I will be reviewing a movie called Rurouni Kenshin Origins. It was released in 2012, though I didn't know about it until recently. It was released by Funimation. It is based off the manga and anime of the same name, and I really liked this movie. Yeah, it starts off during the Japanese Civil War, one of the last ones, I believe, and it follows Saito and Kenshin as they're just killing a whole lot of people. And you get to see Kenshin as the Batosai, and he is killing a shit ton of people. And then finally, after the battle is over and won, Kenshin pretty much throws down his sword and refuses to kill ever again because he's slayed so much. Um, Flash forward 10 years and the movie begins. Kenshin is on a boat going down a river, much like in the opening of the anime, except instead of standing up, he's sitting down. But it's still a nice nod to the anime. Then, as it sets up everything that's going on with the Meiji government, I'm probably butchering that. Anyway, as it sets up everything with the Meiji government, it flashes over to Konryu, this importer-exporter businessman. He has this whole group of people, and he's dealing in opium. And he has this whole crew of people who knows how to make the opium. He says he only needs one, so in a really funny scene, he decides on Miss Megumi Tanaka to be the one that survives to make the spider's web opium, and everybody else gets slaughtered. Oh, by the way, there are going to be some spoilers, but I'll try to keep them to a minimum. Anyway, it follows the anime as it's inspired by the anime and the manga. It sews together several different arcs from the anime and the manga, and of course there is Jinei, who is the false Batosai, going around killing people because he found Kenshin's sword at the end of the battle in the beginning. So, he's just bloodthirsty, and Miss Kaoru confronts Kenshin because she sees him and she thinks he's the Batosai, and he's I have a reverse-edged sword or reverse blade sword, Sakobato, and I can't kill anyone with this, and even if I did use the reverse side, does it look like it's been used? Just oh, okay. Well, you're just a Rurouni, so anyway, it follows pretty much the first episode a lot. What I like about this movie is that, all of the bloodshed, there's very little blood, and it's not graphic in detail. But it is, still a samurai film. But, Kenshin keeps true to his oath and doesn't kill anybody. You see Kenshin's speed, you see him, fight Captain Saito, I believe, part of the police force and still a samurai. Samurais are, something of the past. I was talking to a Japanese expert, and she essentially told me that this movie in Japan's history is essentially Japan's version of the Wild West, where the old ways were dying and the new things were coming in. So it's an interesting period. Anyway, so Miss Megumi escapes this police station slaughter, and these people are trying to buy the dojo that Miss Kaoru runs, and it's just all over the place, but it all makes sense if you watch the movie. Kenshin beats them all up, and he reveals to Miss Karu that he is, in fact, the real Batosai. And um, anyway, so I just got to this point in the movie where Kenshin finally decides to do something about Konryu and his opium dealing after several events. Like, Konryu tries to hire Kenshin, he's like, no, I'm not doing it. And Sanosuke is like, he's Batosai, I will fight him. And Kenshin is like, you're really willing to fight it for a man like him after they're fighting for a while in this really well executed battle between them. You're really willing to fight for a man like him. And it's like, you're right, I shouldn't. So, anyway, after this horrible event happens, I'm not going to spoil it, but Kenshin finally decides to do something about it. And Sanosuke decides to help him because it affected Sanosuke as well. It affected the whole community. And, Kanryu has like this entire army of samurai. And so I'm watching Kenshin and Sanosuke take on 250 samurai at once. And, what's that song? Heaton. Yeah, Heaton starts playing, which is the theme song to Rurouni Kenshin. And Kenshin's just taking on 250 samurai nearly single-handedly. And I'm watching this unfold, and I'm thinking to myself, why don't we get movies this good in America anymore? There's hardly any CGI at all, except for removing some cables and stuff. And then, of course, there's the scene with Janae at the end, after they take care of Konryu. I'm not going to say how, but this is a hell of a movie. Let's just say Konryu gets taken care of. I'm not going to say how because it's really exciting. But then he finally confronts the false Batosai, Janae, and they're fighting, and it's comes down to a quick draw, and Kenshin pretty much takes down Konryu without killing him, and makes a double dragon reference at the same time, and I'm like, yeah! Yeah, if you know what double dragon is, good for you. He grew up in the 90s. So, this is a really good movie. I really like it. I would totally recommend it. I have some samurai films. I've seen Seven Samurai. I own Throne of Blood. And now I own the whole Kenshin trilogy. And from what I've seen of samurai films, I haven't seen a whole lot of them. I haven't seen the modern samurai films, but I have seen this. And from what I have seen of samurai films, I would say this takes the samurai film and takes it to a whole other level. This isn't just a good anime adaptation, which there are few, but this is a good movie overall. Takes inspiration from the manga and the anime, and yeah, just weaves a very compelling narrative. It's inspired, but it's its own original story at the same time. But again, I would really recommend this movie, and if I had to rate it, yeah, I'd give it a 10 out of friggin' 10. It's that awesome. This is a classic. This is a masterpiece of cinema. It has everything I've been looking for in a movie of this type, and it is badass. So yeah, if you're interested in a samurai movie, it's not completely graphic, but definitely action-packed. You're looking for a samurai movie or a manga movie that essentially Nolanizes the source material. And you know what Nolanizing means? It means like taking a comic book character or a manga character and transporting them from the comic book or manga and putting them in a real-world setting. Kind of like they did with Batman and the Dark Knight trilogy. Well, Rurouni Kenshin Origins, Kyoto Inferno, and The Legend Ends is the Nolanized trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy of Japanese manga. That's what I think. Rurouni Kenshin really translates well into a samurai movie. So again, if you're looking for a samurai movie that takes everything to the next level, check this out. It just released, I think, on Amazon, on Blu-ray and DVD, so again, it has everybody in there. Does not have Aoshi. We'll get to Aoshi in the next review. But no, I just really wanted to make a review of this. Okay. Well, everybody, take care. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you like this video, thumbs up it. And please subscribe. I don't often do content since I've been working so hard, but this is one of my favorite hobbies to do, is to recommend good movies to people. And this is definitely taking the samurai movie to the next level. Alright, this is the Connoisseur signing off, and everybody have a happy New Year.